So these are the most unexpected things that happen in most people's fitness journey when they go all in. So we need to get this clear from the get-go. Going all in is when you literally throw the kitchen sink at personal development, fitness, at progress, when you actually embark on a massive change of life and recognize that you've got a lot of change that needs to be made. I'm not talking about someone who's going to the gym intermittently, someone that has periods of consistency followed by bouts of inconsistency. I'm talking about someone that's like really, really going all at it. And if you're probably watching this podcast or this vlog right now on YouTube, then you're probably someone that is all in because you take it that seriously. Because most folk that are dipping their toe in the water don't really take consuming content, going out their way to do all the additional stuff as seriously, let's be honest. So when you go all in, there's going to be a lot of different things that happen in your life. And off the top of my head, I'll kind of try and do it in order of how it happens. So the first thing that's going to happen is that people are going to make comments. It's going to be people that surprise you, catch you off guard, loved ones, friends, family, maybe even your partner, which happens very, very frequently as well. I've had it with many clients in the program as well. And it's not a very nice thing. And it can be a bit of a rock and a hard place because it puts someone in a challenging position where it highlights that they're not actually that content in their relationship because their partner's actually resentful about them actually trying to be better. And that's an uncomfortable thing. And it's the thing that actually limits a lot of people from growing as well, because your environment will be the thing that either limits you or allows you to thrive. So that's a massive thing right there. But yeah, you're going to be caught off guard by a lot of different people. Especially all the snide comments you're going to get. You're going to get them all from all different angles. Let's say, for example, you've worked in a place for 5 years, right? Everyone knows you as this person that has this exact same routine. Everyone has an idea of who you are because you've created that, you've manufactured that, but you've got to a point that you realize that that lifestyle isn't really serving you and you want to make some change. So very quickly, when you start changing your eating behaviors, your movement behaviors, maybe even the behaviors around like eating in the office or drinking behaviors, folk are going to pick up on it. And there is going to be people there that are supportive, but you're going to be met by a lot of people who are going to give you some snide comments, man. And what that actually is, guys, it's a reflection of their insecurities more than anything else, because you're essentially holding a mirror up to them for what they're not doing, and it makes them feel quite uncomfortable. So rather than actually applaud you, they throw something at you. That's what happens. So there's 3 responses from every human being. People either take it in and they embrace it and they run with it. They either run away from it, sprint away from it, so that you get some folk that pretend it's not even happening, they won't even acknowledge it. And you get some people that take the mirror and throw it back at you. And that's what these comments are, and that's what happens when you go through change as well. But fuck them. They're not you. That's not your progress. That's their progress at the end of the day. And it says more about that person than it does about you as well. The second one is that you're going to feel a bit lonely at times. Like, this is Chris Williamson of Modern Wisdom depicts this really well. It's the lonely chapter. When anyone embarks on like a huge amount of radical change in their life, they're going to feel a little bit lonely. They're going to start to feel a little bit isolated and a little bit indifferent because, again, I'm using an example here, but if you've been someone that's been like living for the weekend, drinking quite a lot, partying quite a lot, not training, adopting a gaming, getting food in all the time, and you've built an entire network of friends who enjoy those things as well, you're going to start to distance yourself from those people in your life. So you're going to start to feel a little bit more isolated and a little bit more lonely, and you're going to feel like less people get you. Don't worry, there's loads of people that get you. You just need to go out and find them. That brings me on to my next point. What it's going to do as well is it's going to show you that you have a lot of deficiency in areas that your life that you didn't even think of when you embarked on this journey. And I'm going to tell you one right now. Confidence about speaking to other people. We get this. I've built a training inside of the program, and it's all about basically, when you go through a lot of change in your life, you're going to experience like a bit of an existential crisis that I'm talking about right now. And you're going to find yourself bored a lot of the time. So if you've went from someone that's like partying, drinking, or gallivanting at weekends, or like, do you know what I mean? Like you're not doing like massively progressive behaviors, and you start introducing these things, there's going to be a lot of voids in your week, and it's going to lead you to being a lot more bored. And if you don't do anything about that, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to revert back to old behaviors. And this is when you need to start understanding you're not living your life by default anymore, because most folk that are in that sort of cascade, that cycle of not being dead happy, drinking, partying, eating poorly, are living their life by default. They're doing what they think they should rather than what they want to do. As much as they think they want to do these things, they're doing it because it's giving them a lot of instant gratification, the greed, the gluttony, all this stuff that comes with it, right? But you need to live your life by design and start actually manufacturing things in your life that are going to make you feel good, that are going to amp you up, that are going to literally propel you forward, rather than you getting to the point where you feel like you need to live like an isolated monk who doesn't know anyone and is bored out of their mind. Because I went through that phase as well. Like, I went from someone that literally partied and drank all the time to someone that started leveling myself up, working on my business, and I started finding myself feeling like I had no friends. And what that done for me is it held a mirror up to me that I had to go out my way to build and meet new people. And a lot of folk think that their postcode or the people that they went to school with should dictate who their friend circle is. I'm not saying you need to run away for these folk or never ever speak to them again, but you need to go out your way and work on relationships. I had a really good chat with one of my friends recently, and they're going through a lot of change in their life, moving away from alcohol, moving away from partying a lot more, and it's fantastic. But what this actually done was it held a bit of a mirror up to them in the sense that they weren't happy in all parts of their life, and they were talking about different relationships, friendships and stuff. I said, you need to work on these things, man. Like, and when someone's in this sort of mindset of partying quite a lot, drinking quite a lot like I was in, it's actually numbing the fact that there's a lot of things in your life that you're actually unfulfilled with, but you're tolerating them because you've almost got this sort of like mask on. It's almost like, oh, well, everything's all good because I've done this and I've done that and I've done this, and the thing that you need to change is staring right in front of you. But it's not until you take away all these vices that you actually then start to go, wait a minute, like, I'm not happy here, or I'm not happy there, I'm not happy here. And that's normal, and it's because you haven't nourished these things, you haven't worked on them, you haven't tried. So understand that, like, maybe you're 25, maybe you're 27, maybe you're in your 30s, maybe you're in your late 30s, 40s, and you're going through this change and you're having a bit of a sinking feeling in your gut right now, realizing that a lot of folk in your life aren't necessarily your thrive friends that are supporting you, guiding you, helping you be better. They're more like drinking acquaintances or people that you meet up with and do a lot of behaviors that aren't actually growth behaviors. Like, I remember having that feeling, and it's quite overwhelming. Like, understand that you can change all this as well. So these are the big things that are going to happen if you go all in your fitness journey that nobody really speaks about. But I can promise you right now, there is light at it. Like, all this stuff is great. Like, I'm talking about this, like, you need to remember that you're going to be feeling so much better. You're going to be so much sharper. You're going to be looking better in your body. And it's just something that happens over a period of time. I'm very, very grateful. I say I'm grateful. Like, I've worked hard to have all the relationships that I have in my life, but everyone that I regularly speak to, expose myself to, connect with, are all people that I have met in the last like 4 to 5 years. Yeah, there's some people there, like, I've got a couple of friends that are like long-term friends that have grown with me, but you need to understand, guys, you're outgrowing people in a different direction. You're not better than anyone. You're not, by outgrowing someone, you're not saying that you're better than someone. What you're actually doing is you're just recognizing that the things that you value and the things that this person values in your life just may be a bit out of line right now. And that's okay. You just need to get clear on what those things are. So that brings me to the last part. You need to know what you love doing and what you don't like doing. One of the first things that we run through inside the RFA when someone comes in with the lifestyle strategy call with me, and we have an athletic, so we have a discovery call when someone comes into the program. If that's successful and we see value in working together, they then join the program, they then go through our onboarding, they then have an athletic performance call with Ailey where she gets to know them, learns all about their training so she can make everything tailored and bespoke to them. And then 5 to 7 days later, we have a lifestyle strategy call with myself. And in that, we go through a framework called the who, the how, the what, and the when. And what this is, it's actually teaching someone what they don't like about themselves and what they love about themselves, the things that they don't like doing and the things that they love doing, the things that, the indicators that they know they're going to drift into that way and drift into feeling amazing. And the God honest truth when I ask people these questions is a lot of people don't know what the best version of themselves is because they've been living in such a way that they've not been that happy within themselves. And that's for a lot of people now. I always use the example of WALL-E, the movie, and basically that the way the future's going right now where everyone's on those like big boards, they're overweight, there's screens on them, and they're in this like really, really bad way. That's the way that the world's going right now. And it's very, very easy to just be a bit overwhelmed by that, man. And it's quite sad that a lot of folks don't actually know what the best version of themselves is, but they only know who they don't like being. And that's just the same for a lot of people now. So it's very, very easy now to be successful, but it's equally as easy to be unsuccessful. And the reason why we run through this framework is because we're getting our clients clear from the get-go of like who they don't like being, the things that they do, and the indicators that they're moving in that direction. Because a lot of people are just going through the motions in their life, letting life happen to them instead of making it happen for them. So to reflect on that, the 4 things that you're really going to experience is, number 1, you're going to get comments from other people in that, like, in your direct life, that are going to surprise you. It's just part of growing. If you're experiencing these, it's very, very normal. You're going to feel very, very lonely at times. You're going to start to realize that you're not just changing the things that you do, but you're changing the way that you live your life, the spaces that you go to, the environments that you go to, what you do at the weekend, what you do for holidays. Everything is going to change when you go all in. You're then going to experience that you have to then develop other skills and work in relationships and meeting new people, and you have to build a new network. And then you also need to recognize of the behaviors that you need to adopt and the habits that you need to adopt to be that person. And you also need to acknowledge how easy it is to essentially revert back to old behaviors if you let yourself do that. So progress is a never-ending journey, and it's something that you embark on. It's something that's a 365 thing. It's 247. It's not something that you do for 90 days. It's not something that you do for 12 weeks. It's something that you do all the time. It's something that you embrace. It's something that you embody. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that and you took a lot away from it. If you'd like some help with your own fitness journey, your own progress, then feel free to book in for a discovery call below. We'll have a chat. We'll talk through everything. We'll go through all the steps, all the processes. When you actually book in for the call, I've actually built out a full 10-minute video that explains everything about Ready for Anything, what we do, how it works, our step-by-step process. So go and get yourself locked in for a call and let's get working together.